1854, a German mathematician named Bernhard Riemann stood in front of a lecture hall at the University of Göttingen. His audience expected an ordinary talk on geometry. Instead, he introduced an idea that was so abstract and far ahead of its time that no one knew what to do with it. Welcome to the Sebcast, where we turn our beloved stories on their heads, look at what history might have overlooked, discover anew, and grow together. Riemann suggested that space is not flat but curved. At the time it made little sense. Who cares about curved space? What practical use would it have? Riemann died young, at 39, without ever seeing the impact of his work. 50 years later, Albert Einstein is stuck with a problem. He has a theory called general relativity but can't get the math to work. Then, someone hands him Riemann's lost and forgotten equations. Suddenly, everything makes sense for Einstein. Without Riemann, Einstein would never have discovered how gravity works. Without Einstein, we wouldn't have sat-navs, black hole research, or modern physics. Riemann never knew his work would change the world. He just did what was before him for his time. This brings us to Jeremiah 9:11, one of the most quoted and, dare I say, tattooed but least understood verses in the Bible. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. It's an encouraging verse, but most people don't realize when and to whom it was said. Jeremiah spoke these words to exiles, people who had lost everything. Their homes were destroyed, their future was uncertain, and they had absolutely nothing left. God's message: trust me. I see what you don't see. Think of Joseph, not the one with a nice coat, but the one in prison, forgotten. Years later he would realize, what you meant for evil, God meant for good. Genesis chapter 50 verse 20. Maybe we are all Riemanns in our own way, working on something small, unaware of the cosmic ripples it will have over time. Maybe our frustrations, delays, and setbacks are part of something much bigger than we can see. Because life is not a straight line, it's a chessboard. And the architect? He sees the end game. The question remains, what are you made for? Until tomorrow, take care.